We are going to work with vertex form of a parabola today. Okay, Max? Again, we're going to do that. These are the regular forms. This gives me, to review this a little bit, this gives me the y-intercept.
I have a question. Why does y equal everything in math?
Because somebody chose to do it that way. They could have made it any letter they wanted. And in physics, it's S for position or V for velocity. So Descartes is probably the one who made the decision. He called that the x-axis. He called that the y. Why? I don't know. Okay. When x is 0, what happens to this, Chris? When x is 0, what's y equal to? Okay, guys, I need the chit-chatting to stop. What's y equal to? Max? What, if x is 0, this is 0, that's 0, what's y equal to? C. Okay, so your parabola is going to intersect the y-axis, and it's intersecting right there. That's the C value. So what you get out of the general form is the y-intercept, quickly and easily. What about, Monty, do you know what happens in the factored form? What do I get there? If I let y be 0, I get x minus x1, x minus x2. What are those called, x1 and x2? It's factored form. It's factored form. What are these called? When the
X-intercept.
Those are called x-intercepts.
Oh, this is from class? Oh.
This is old.
We're not doing anything different.
Nope.
You said that we were.
Well, we're going to graph. I'm going to show you a little bit of new stuff, but not a lot. Which if we do a little bit of new every day, then it's not so much as doing a whole bunch of new in a day. And this is called what? Vertex form. And what does that give us? That gives us the point, either the lowest or the highest point. In this case, is this the lowest or the highest?
Lowest.
Lowest. So that's the minimum. That's the vertex, which is at H, K. And to review a little bit from yesterday, if this is the lowest point, then I want the smallest y value I'm going to get here, because this is the lowest point in my range. Well, the way I get that to be the lowest value is that this x minus h has to be 0, because that's the smallest value that you can get. Because if you square a positive number, you get a positive number. Zach, if you square a negative number, you get what kind of a number?
Negative.
No? You get a positive number. So the smallest value that a squared term will ever give you is 0. So I want that to be 0. So it turns out that I will put h in here to make that 0, and then I just take k, whatever it is. And that's the vertex form. That's what we did for today. That's the blue sheet.
So there's three, like,
These are the 3 different forms. Now, going from general form to factored form, we can do that. We've done that. But going from general form to vertex form is hard work. We don't know how to do that, at least not in this course, and I don't plan on showing you how to do that. So I have to give it to you in vertex form. Okay. Ready?
No.
What's the y-intercept here? This should be easy.
It should be the -8.
That's the -8.
Nice.
That's the y-intercept. What's the y-intercept here? 5.
5.
Because the y-intercept is when x is 0. When x is 0, all of these terms go away. Question? You have this down? And then we're going to go on to the next page. So we're going to graph these parabolas. And we're going to find out that if a is 1, we get the same shape all the time. You could actually draw a picture of one parabola, cut it out, and then trace it. Literally trace it. Okay, you ready? Okay, graphing equations in vertex form. It's not, I don't think it's a very long assignment. Now, we are going to look for 5 main points in a parabola. Now, let's make a table of values. Why? We're only going to pick up 5 points. And we're going to start with the vertex since we have this kind of in vertex form. I know.
We know it's a teacher.
That's okay, I'll get it.
No, it makes me a stranger. Stranger. Don't let us sense.
Where?
Did you tell him to go around?
Yeah, told me to go around.
What's this for? Oh, okay.
I got 2 of them.
There's 2 there.
Very busy today. Are they
Okay.
both there?
Yeah, I think everybody's here today. Yep. Thank you. Okay. So what's the easiest value you can put into an equation?
That would be fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, guys? What's the easiest number you can put in there? You should make a table. This is X. This is Y. Okay, you guys? Matt, what's the easiest X coordinate you can put in there? 0. Excellent. And when you square 0, what do you get?
You get 5.
Graphing this? Yeah.
You get 0.
Okay.
Get 0, yes.
Now, what's another value we could put in? How about 1? If you put in 1 and you square it, you get,
Uno.
what if we put in -1?
Then you get another 1.
You still get 1. There's symmetry. The left side and right side are the same. Remember, you square a negative number. We have.
Yeah.
So if you do a 2, these are the 5 main points. What are you going to get?
Negative 2.
No, you're going to get 4.
2 squared is
4.
4. -2 squared is 4. Now, let's graph those points. So 0, 0. I'm going to have 1 and a 1 here. We're going to do this like we do with slope. Now, the next one, I'm going to go over to 2, and I'm going to go up 4. And I'm going to go over 2 and up 4. All parabolas look like that. Let's do one more, because I want you to see that the pattern is. Or one more pair. So what if I put in 3? Demonte, what do I get if I square that? 9. And what if I square a -3? I still get 9. So, Max, I'm going to go over to 3, and I'm going to go up to 9. Now, I know my grid goes to 10, so I know it's there. Now, there's your parabola. Okay, Matt, what's the difference between these?
0 and 1.
Yeah, what's the difference?
1 is 1.
No, difference means subtraction.
1.
Okay, now look at the next one. Between 1 and 4, what's the difference? 4 minus 1 is? How big? 4 minus 1. Roosman, help me out. What's 4 take away 1? 3. What's 9 take away 4?
5.
Yeah, you need to be working with where. Otherwise, we'll just have to put you on something else. Take this off. Okay, what's this? This is 5. Anybody have a prediction if I wanted to go to the next ordered pair, which is off my graph? If I go to 4, this is going to be 16. What's the difference there going to be, Max? We had 1. We had 3, 5. What's the next difference?
32.
Take a good guess. 1, 3, 5. It's a sequence. What's the next number in my sequence?
7.
16 minus 9 is 7. Okay. When you did slope, it was always the same slope. You go over 1, up 2, over 1, up 2, over 1, up 2. Okay, Matt? And we always got a straight line. In a parabola, if we go over 1, we go up by the odd numbers. So if I go over 1, I go up 1. Now if I go over 1 again, I'm going to go up 3. If I'm going to go over another 1, I'm going to go up 5. So this is 5. This is 3. This is 1. If I wanted to do it again, I would go over 1, up 7. And all parabolas look like that. Now, that's with a coefficient. The number in front of here is a 1, and that's all we're going to deal with. If I put a 2 there, I'll just pose it, I'll put it out there and think about how these numbers would change. But there's my parabola. So you're going to be looking for 5 points when you graph this. You're going to start with the vertex. And once you know where that is, then you can just do this counting. We're going to go over 1, up 1. Then we're going to go over 1, up 3. Then we're going to go over 1, up 5. Actually, we only need the 3. Okay, so now we have to find the vertex here. And I don't want to do a table of values. That's too hard. Chris, what's the vertex? -2, -3. We should be really good at that by now, right? Because we did that on 2 worksheets. The yellow one, and then yesterday we had a blue. Okay?
How is it negative?
Remember, I want this to be the lowest point on my graph, so x plus 2 has to be 0. What makes it 0? The other way to think of it, it's x minus the h, so it'd be x minus a -2. Okay, so let's graph that. Okay, Matt? We're going to start at -2, -3. 1, 2, 3. Am I in the right place? Sometimes I turn them around. Now, all you're going to do is you're going to go over 1, up 1. You're going to go over 1, and you're going to go up. No. Remember they went up 1? They went up by the odd numbers? 3, 5. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go over 1 and up how many? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't have to do that once you get these 5 points here. And now these are the same on the other side, aren't they? Then there it is. Don't forget the arrows, they go forever. So all you have to do is remember this pattern. You go over 1, up 1, over 1, up 3. That's all there is. It's similar to slope. It's not the same as slope, but it's similar. Because if they went up a constant amount, you'd get a straight line. This is not a constant amount. Okay, we ready for another one?
Yes, we are.
Okay, vertex. Luke, can you help me with the vertex? Do you know what this is? Well, it makes this 0. Good. And then the y value is just that, -1. Okay, so let's get the right starting point, and I want you to try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is. I want to get rid of my dots that I just left there. Don't want those dots. Okay, see if you can find the next point. You're going to go over 1, and you're going to go up 1. Try it. You have to make it bigger. Why have a horizontal line? You need to graph these. Put your points in. Where's your graph? So you're going to graph it at -5, not negative, +5, -1. So first you put your point in there. Did you get your point in there? And then you're going to do some counting. It's all you're going to do is count. All parabolas look alike. Thank you. So graph your point over here. Show your points clearly. Graph your points. And you'll have to make it bigger. There you go. You have that done.
That one we
Okay. Let's do purple. I'm going to go over 1 square, and I'm going to go up 1 square. And then I'm going to do what, Faith? Over 1 and up 3. 1, 2, 3. They're all the same as long as A is 1. Guess what we're going to do tomorrow? We're going to make A negative. Is it going to be any different?
Yeah.
Really? No, it's just upside down.
Okay.
Now, this one's here. Guess what? If you take, this is your axis of symmetry. You really only need the vertex and 2 points here, because then this is the same over here. It's a mirror. This right side looks like the left side, and so this is going to be here, and there you go. Did you get it?
Yeah.
That's all there is. I don't have another one. I just have this. Okay, well, we will get this. Now, if I'm given general form, putting in vertex form is too hard, so we won't do that. Can we find the x? What's the easiest thing to find?
The Y X game thingy-majiggy.
That'll be to find the x-intercepts, but even easier than that, what about the y-intercept?
Oh.
The y-intercept's easy. What's the y-intercept? Which is not going to fit on my graph, but that's okay.
The 12? No, 7.
We're doing this. What's the y-intercept? Xavier, what's the y-intercept?
I think it's 27.
It's 27. It's 0, 27. Now, then Monty said to get the x-intercepts, we have to play the x game. So, well, this is 27, and this is 12. I need numbers that multiply to give me 27.
3 and 9.
3 and 9.
Yay!
So let's write factored form. Y equals, it's x plus 3, x plus 9. Okay, so we've gone from general form to factor form. We'll get the vertex form kind of going around the block, rather than, there's another way to do it. But what are the x-intercepts then? Now, what are the x-intercepts? Not positive 3. Again, we want to make these zero product property. Yeah, x plus 3, x plus 9, I'll get out of the way. So it's negative 3, 0. And what's the other one? Negative 9, 0. So we haven't finished that last unit. We're going to use what we had. We're just adding to it. Okay, do you remember how to get the axis of symmetry?
Go right.
Right down the middle, halfway between these guys. Negative 3 plus negative 9 divided by 2. If I have to write it to get it right, I will. Negative 6. Yep, that's negative 12 divided by 2. So x equals negative 6. Okay, now do you remember how to get the vertex? We have the x-coordinate. We know what the x is. It's negative 6, right? How do you find the y-coordinate? You put the negative 6. You can either put it in here, which is harder to do, because then you have to square it, and then you guys mess up with the signs. Or you can put the negative 6 in here, because they're the same things. This is easier. Have you noticed the pattern here? What's negative 6 plus 3? Negative 3. And what's negative 6 plus 9? 3. Haven't you noticed that when I put them into the factored form, one's positive, one's negative, but they're the same? Have you not noticed that pattern yet? What's the answer? It's 3 times a negative 3.
0.
Negative 9. You're adding, don't add. Okay, one last thing. Now we're going to put it into vertex form, and the vertex looks like y equals, and that's what you had to do for your homework today, x minus h squared plus k, the one that was due for today. Okay, what's that going to look like? X minus a negative 6 or x plus 6, that's right, squared minus 9. So we're doing little chunks at a time, but putting it all together. So we're not going to forget the things we had in the last unit. So that was a lot of stuff there, wasn't it? Think about what you knew before you started the unit on parabolas. You knew nothing about them, and look at all the stuff you know now. Be proud of that. Okay, so I don't know if there's questions on the blue sheet. I think that was it. That is it. Or not. You should check your answers. You should always check your answers because you need to know if you're doing it right or wrong. And if you don't check your answers to see if you're doing it right or wrong, and you're doing it wrong, you end up learning to do it wrong. And then you know what you have to do? You have to undo everything you just learned. And that makes it so much harder to learn.